Right, let's do this. Good afternoon, or good morning, good evening, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to yet another. I'm bored, so I thought I would just do a quick video on the BP Mod's Warhammer, which I purchased. Actually, I purchased this when I was watching Chewing the Fat with Craig and Kenny, because it was so boring that I had to do something to keep me awake, because the pair of them were just talking utter nonsense. So I decided to just go and buy this whilst I was listening to them talking. So thank you to Craig and Kenny, Chewing the Fat. Great YouTube channel. Thanks, guys. Hi, Craig. Anyway, yes, this is live, so there may be a little bit of banter. I shall try and avoid chat as much as possible until we get this video done and dusted. Then I'll answer questions or anything and whatnot at the end, and we'll just go with the flow. But thank you to everybody that has nothing else to do on a Saturday afternoon. Obviously, your partners don't leave you lists either. Well, mine does. I'm just ignoring them. Right. This has been out for a couple of months. I'm sure this has been out for a couple of months, and I've not seen BP Mods themselves push it, or any of the usual reviewers get them for review or anything like that. So obviously I saw people doing hand checks with it and saying how good it was. Obviously I need some content on my channel, and it was cheap. I'm from Fife, I'm very cheap. So I thought I would just go and buy this. I bought this from Vaping 101, a Scottish company, and it cost me £32.99 for an 18650 60 watt device, which doesn't look shit. You can't argue with that. You really can't. So, before I get before I get into chat and stuff like that, this comes in a multitude of colours. There's lots of colours. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 colours in total. I was actually going to go for the orange one, but I ended up getting the white one. I don't know why. Is it actually white it's called? It's called White Moonlight, strangely enough. But with my white balance on my camera, it may look a completely different colour. Maybe orange. But anyway, I'll make this clear now. I have not had this long term. I've normally, as a general rule of thumb, try to keep it 1 week minimum testing something before I do a review. But this is... yeah, this is an off-the-cuff thing, so there may be things that I miss or get wrong. If you know differently when you're watching this video, say it in chat, or leave a comment in YouTube and let everybody know what I missed. I have no issue with that. I get things wrong a lot. But here we go. TJ's in the house. Joe. He's in the house because it's raining here, and I actually just sorry before we go in, you might need to edit this live, Mark. I don't think you're allowed to mention the website and the price. Well, I didn't mention the website. I just said I got it from Vaping 101, which that could be some guy in the high street or the shops or what. I didn't say it was a website. Don't start getting all arsey with me, my Egyptian friend. Right, here we go. It's ignore chat. I'm ignoring chat because you'll just lead me astray. The Warhammer. Usual BP mods. And I can't show you the back because it's got stuff on it that I'm not allowed to show. Opens a box. We have a manual which I've not read. We'll put that to one side. In the box, you're going to get a little USB cable, which is I don't think it's paracord, but it's not. It doesn't feel like a cheap, shitty plastic one. It actually feels like a solid USB-C, I should add. This does charge in batteries internally at 2 amps, if that is your thing. So yeah, there we go. And then we have one mod. Get you out of there. Right. I will be honest here. I did do an unboxing for my patrons as usual. In that unboxing, I did have a collision with a pyramid. It's a long story. And as a result, I did damage the mod. There are 2 dings on the bottom. This was not a fault of the mod. This was more a fault of it meeting a pyramid at high speed. And I'm not joking, by the way. Anyway, so here we go with the Moonlight White. This is, I'm going to straight out the back. I think this is a really pretty mod. It's about 79.5.6 millimeters in height. It is not the smallest 18650 mod on the market, as some descriptions have said. It's about 80 millimeters, which is about the average for an 18650 mod in height. You're looking about 40 across here and 24 across the top. 510 is screwed down, which is a good thing. Firing button here, up and downy button. You will have a bit of plastic across the screen when you get it out of the box. And that is that. The weight on this one is, oh god, I think it's 90 grams. 90 grams without a battery, just fresh out the box. So, here we go. Battery door. Now, this is, I'm pretty sure, I think this is a zinc alloy. Actually, it doesn't feel heavy. I'm not sure if it is a zinc alloy. I doubt it would be aluminium, but it just doesn't feel that heavy. It really doesn't. But anyway, the door here is plastic fantastic. You can see there's lots of flex in it. However, I will say you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 magnets in total. Once this door is on, also if you put the door on the right way, it helps. There is no flex in this when you've got a battery in it. In fact, there's no flex in it there at all. So even though it flexes like that, once you've got it on here, no issues. Positive and negative is clearly marked. We do have a springy contact, which is down the bottom. Once again, you've got magnets. We've got Warhammer BP mods there, and that is it for the internals. We will need an 18650 battery, 1 moly cell. Pop that in, push down on the, oh no, sorry, my mistake, springy contact on the negative, push on the springy contact, and the battery goes in. That's it. That is literally it. There's it's just, it does what it needs to do. Now, I am not sure how that is going to show up, if it is going to show up. Oh, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Right, screen wise, you have got the usual. You've got you know, voltage, the resistance, you've got the battery indicator, what mode you're in. I'm in VW, I'm in wattage mode just now, and you have your wattage as well. If I remember right, this goes up in 0.1 increments. Yes, it does. It goes up in 0.1 increments, which is quite smart. Once again, it's a 60 watt device. I will show you this quickly for those that are curious. We do have this little raised bit going around here, but there's a Cabello, there's a 24mm mod, ATI, I should say, and that goes on no problem. See, you got a little gap in there. So there's a 24mm ATI and it's going on. Getting me words mixed up here. Most unusual, not like me at all. And obviously here's a 22mm ATI, which is I was going to say is nice and dry, but it's not. It's actually started leaking. But there we go. There's a 22mm ATI. See the gap you've got in there. Firing button. We've got the usual kind of stuff. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold that up there. She's off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, BP mods launches up. Up and down. 3 clicks. 1, 2, 3. And you've got power. Sorry, I'm trying to get that right up here. System, temperature control, bypass, voltage, and so on and so forth. The only one that really is system. You've got a boost mode as well. We've got this. I have been running it with a little boost. It's strange when you boost it. I should say is that it doesn't show. So if I put it in boost mode, let's just say I'm vaping at 20 watts and I put the boost right up, when I vape it, the wattage doesn't change. You know, like it does on a DNA board. You'll see the voltage will change and you know the power that it's putting out, but it'll still read 20 watts. And that's pretty much it. That's as basic as it gets. There's not a huge amount going on here. I will be, as always, completely up front. I have not used temp control in this at all, but that is really it for the Warhammer. Issues that I've come across in the time that I've been using it are zero, none. You can adjust the brightness on the display. I'm in full brightness just now. I've no issue seeing it. I can see it in the daylight as well. I will be looking at chat in a second, but I've said it a couple of times. It's a 60 watt mod, and it does round robin as well on the board. For £32, what was it? £33. I have no issues with this at all. I really don't. Fire button is in a really nice position. I can fire with my right and left-handed, no problem. It's more comfortable, it's more suited for the right hand because of the texture on the door here. There's no flex in the door, the screen's clear, the up and down buttons work well. Do you know the only thing I haven't tried? This is a bit remiss of me. This is why you should read the manual. Let's try some pushing up and down buttons and maybe the firing button at the same time. That's doing nothing. That's doing nothing. Up and down button at the same time. Locks the keys, but you can still fire. So there we go. That's what you've got. Glad I checked that. So if you have one, does anybody got any you know, opinions on it? Has anybody had any issues with it? What do you like about it? What have you come across? Shout out in chat, let me know. I find it even more comfortable in the left hand. I suppose you could say that, Paul. I mean, I'm saying it's more comfortable in the right hand because you're grabbing the texture like that. But then I suppose in the left hand, you're still grabbing the textured part and just using your thumb. So, fair comment. absolutely fair comment. I don't know who made this RTA, but it suddenly decided to start leaking on me. Whoever made it, I wouldn't recommend it. I know it's 60 watts, but what about the maximum output voltage? Jesus, wet, don't get your knickers in a twist, mate. That, with any luck, is in the manual. Or I could just do it on the board. I'll do it in the board. That would be the easiest way. We shall take it into system, and then we'll go into boost, sleep, brightness, boost, sleep, brightness. No, 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 out of system. I'm having a blonde moment. Stick with me. It'll pass. Bypass. Voltage. There we go. We are at 3, 4, 5. I'm hoping it's 7 or 8, but we'll see. 6, still going. This is riveting, isn't it? I maybe should have just read the manual. 8 volt. I hope that is satisfactory for you. See, I knew somebody would know. Save me doing that. Why wasn't there a Patreon unboxing for the Monarchy mug? 200 volts. Yeah, I better make sure I've not got it set to 8 volts and I'm going to vape in it. I know that it all comes down to budget and so on, and a lot of people will still, you know, I would, it's £30, and I think for £30 it's an absolute banger as an everyday carry. And plus it still looks a little bit posh, which BP mods always seem to manage to do. So I tip my glasses to them on this one. I'm thoroughly enjoying vaping with it. Paul, it's not in the manual. You just saved me there. You just saved me. Thank you very much. I have a lot. I mean, obviously, I like my posh gear, and but you know, this is the kind of thing when we worked in the vape. Well, I don't know about vape shops now, but when I worked in vape shops, this would have been you would have sold these by the bucket load back in the day, because it's just a cheap 18650 mod. But Zion Vlogs, I wish it was DNA 60. Why? Why do you wish it was DNA 60? Tell me. Tell me why you wish it was DNA 60. I'll tell you what. Because I'm in one of these moods and it's a Saturday afternoon, let's check something. I need a DNA 60 mod. I've got one. I'm actually vaping on it. Let's check something. Let's check something. Imagine it being made of wood. Mo, that's a very good point actually. Right. Here we go. Let's go down here. Right. This, can you see that? Hopefully you can see that. That is reading 0.39 on this device. So let's take it off of here. And we'll put it onto here. Make sure you've got a good connection there. And it is reading 0.38. So there you go. There's the answer to your question. Is there a difference between a DNA 60 and a BP mods? Yeah, 0.01 and the resistance. Actually, I'm really curious now. I wonder what it is in a DNA 75C. Because sometimes the resistance can be down to, it's not just down to the board, it can be down to the soldering as well that's been used. How well done was the soldering? Yes, new. Now there's a strange thing. Look at this. Can you see that? That's a DNA 75C and it's reading 0.39, which was the exact same as the BP mods. So there's an actual difference between the DNA 75C and the DNA 60 there. And like I said, it could be down to how tight the connection is, it could be down to how well soldered the 510 was, the internal wiring. It's but I'm just being a dick because there's no other excuse for it. I'm being a dick. You wish it was a DNA 60, but would you pay £100 for it? Let's just say, would you pay £100 for it with a DNA 60 board? I'm curious. Genuine question. Genuine question. Also, wait, you want me as a patron to give info for your vid? How will that work from now on? Didn't patron? They did say they're bringing a DNA 60 Warhammer. Because I use temp and this chipset, the temp control is faulty. Really? In what way? Genuine question once again. In what way is it faulty? Did I used a temp control. If this is the same board that was in the last mod, I used temp control in the last one and I didn't have any issues with temp control. I mean, I was just using 316. Yeah, I'm really curious. Is it plastic? Well, here we go. Let's no, I was right enough. The body material is a zinc alloy, so I was right on that one. And the door is plastic or G10 or it could be anything, but I'm just going to call it plastic. But oh, check atomizer. That was me. That was me. Once again, Zion Vlogs, I'm curious what's wrong with the temp control, because I will go. I mean, I will go and check it. I'll go and double check it. If you're saying there's an issue with it, then it's really the kind of thing that I should check myself. Now I feel bad for not doing it, so I will after this video. I'll do a 316 build and I'll check it myself. But if you could tell me what you found wrong with it, I would appreciate it. If anybody's interested at all, coming soon. The other thing I'm vaping on just now, and there will be a review for this soon, is this beastie. A little bit of side-by-side action. Is it the CRVT? CVRT, my apologies, the CVRT by Emporium Mods. So that'll be up for review very, very soon. And I got a thing. Now, when we're talking about them, shh. This arrived as well today. I don't know why, but Rob at Stealth Vape has an evil sense of humour, and he included one of these. Is that the right way round? It's for those of you that don't know, obviously if you get like this mod here, it does not have the international firmware on it. The DNA60, it does not have the international firmware. There's no USB in the mod, so I cannot update the firmware. However, using this, taking this off, which I finally figured out how to do, I can actually use this to update the firmware. It's maybe not for everybody doing it this way, but yeah, this is a new doodad that I shall be playing about with. But there we go. Where does zinc alloy come from? The zinc alloy factory. Mo, it's very, very difficult, I will not lie. There is a level of humour and sarcasm that goes to here. On Patreon, it kind of goes up to here, and a lot of things go. I try and behave myself when I'm doing these. Where did Zion Vlogs go? I'm waiting on his answer. Eddie, I can't remember using temp control. I still like replay. Replay is very, very good. It's a bit of a shame there wasn't much more uptake. I could go off on a tangent in that one and whatnot, but I'll not bother. That is about all I've got for you on the Warhammer. Once again, for me personally, in the time I've had it, which is a limited short amount of time. I think it's just Tuesday that it arrived on my doorstep. I myself have zero issue with this device. Obviously you've seen in chat, there's somebody said there is an issue with temp control. What I'll do after this video is finished, I'll go and do a temp control build, and I'll put my findings in the description. Now my conditions for a temp control build is that I put it to 230, 240, and as long as it throttles back and doesn't give me a dry hit, and I can adjust the wattage as well, it works. That's my condition. As long as it throttles back and doesn't give a dry hit, it's working. So take these tools away. Can I use my drop and ambidex? Eddie, I don't know. Sorry, this has got nothing to do with the Warhammer. I apologise. About that USB dongle, obviously you remove the battery. You don't use the battery in the mod. You know, bad. No, don't do that. There's no way you can bugger up your mod using this. You can't fry the board using this, because obviously it's not a solid connection as such. You're not plugging it in. It's going to be resting. I'm just kind of curious if anybody's come across any bother using one of these little dongles. But I'll soon find out. I think I'll wait until I've done a review for the Emporium mod, and then once that review's done, then I'll try updating the firmware after it. But there we go. Right, boys and girls, thank you very, very much for watching as always. And Todd owns an audio shop. Todd has too much audio stuff. He's got to behave himself. But thank you as always for watching. Once again, keep an eye in the description or the sticky post for this video. I will update it shortly on how I got on with temp control. But thank you so much for your time on this wet, horrible, dingy Saturday afternoon.